All right, good evening, everybody. We are in the middle of a high-impact winter storm. For a lot of folks in Northwest Arkansas, we've seen snow all day long, and we've got a few more inches to go before we're near the tail end of this event. In fact, temperatures well below freezing. Snow's going to continue to pile up. Roads pretty bad shape across Northwest Arkansas, and they're only going to get worse with more snow on the way. Live radar shows snow mostly now in the River Valley as temperatures have really struggled to drop below freezing. We're at 28 Sallisaw, 31 Ozark, 29 currently in Boonville. As those temperatures continue to drop, we'll start to taper off the freezing rains, taper off the sleet, move everything over to snow. From Siloam Spring to Eureka, from Huntsville down to Winslow, Fayetteville, you got a pretty steady. Right now, most of it is a light snow. It was pretty heavy earlier. Heavy snow probably moves back into the area. That's still developing in parts of Oklahoma, tracking our direction. Here in the River Valley, it's a bit more scattered in nature. It's not as constant and steady as it is in northwest parts of the state. You might get a brief snow burst followed by just pretty quiet conditions, followed by a little bit of sleet / freezing rain. Thin glades of ice likely developing there as those temperatures continue to drop. We get into southern LaFleur, we get into Scott County, even parts of Logan where there's not necessarily been a whole lot of activity today, and that was expected to be the case. You're probably going to get anywhere between a trace upwards of 2 inches in a few isolated locations. So I want to show you the roads. I know this is kind of far away, but the blue here are going to be those interstates that are just covered in snow. Now those impacts finally moving into the River Valley. We have some highways in Fort Smith, Van Buren, Ozark, Clarksville that are starting to deteriorate. That trend is likely to continue as these temperatures continue to fall. How much more of what you can expect in your neck of the woods coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, Scott, thanks. Snow, and a lot of it. Let's get right into it as well. A live look now at I-49 and Fulbright in Fayetteville. Just a mess out there right now.
Yes, you can see not too many cars on the roads, but this is a known trouble spot. Crews have worked several accidents in that area already today. You can see several cars are stranded there on the right side of your screen. Unless you absolutely have to be out on the roads, police urge you to just stay home and to just get an idea of those current road conditions.
Yeah, let's send it to forecaster Joshua Weisel, who's been out in the 5 News storm chaser pretty much all day today. Joshua, tell us where you are, and it doesn't look very good out there right now.
No, and it does not look really good. You are correct about that. In fact, if we zoom in, you can see these cars are just kind of slushing around. The road has gone to slush. We are in Springdale, and to be exact, we are on 412 headed towards 49. So like we were saying earlier, don't get out if you absolutely don't have to be out. There's been a couple of these exits that crews are getting to it, but the snow has covered it, and the snow blowing over it makes it hard to find where that lane starts and where it ends. So we're keeping a close eye on this. We're headed under 49 right now. You can see we're with traffic, but these roads are just a slushy mess. If I'll zoom in, you can see. Don't get out and drive if you absolutely don't have to. We're seeing cars slipping and sliding all over the roads. The wind is also leading to kind of an issue as well for drivers. Two-wheel drive cars, don't get out. That's just my word of advice. I wouldn't be out there. We've seen several two-wheel drive cars get stuck. So if you have a four-wheel drive and you absolutely have to get out, make sure that you're taking it extra slow, taking those precautions, not going in and out of lanes, not speeding on these roads just because you don't want to get caught in this wintry mess that's on the roads. This is a live look at what we're seeing. If we see any other impactful updates in terms of the road conditions, we'll let you know. So throwing it back to the news desk.
All right, thank you, Joshua. Stay safe out there. Glad you guys are driving slowly. Meanwhile, Benton County is expected to see the brunt of all this snowfall, especially toward the state line. Rachel Williams live in Benton County right now for us, having so much fun out there. Rachel, what does it look like? And are you cold yet?
I don't think cold is the word, you guys. I think freezing is the word. But you guys, hour by hour since we've been here, it's been getting worse. There's less cars out on the interstate as more snow starts to pile in. And even a few hours ago, I spoke to Benton County officials, and they tell me that their roads crews have been out prepping since this morning. And they think that because they were out prepping the roads, pre-treating the roads, that it did help with some parts of the road still being able to clear out. Now, road crews have only pre-treated primary roads on high traffic roads. Melody Kwok with the county says they're working on a plan to get to the rural roads.
On Wednesday is when we're going to be able to get the most headway as far as getting some asphalt and some concrete visible for our drivers. And that will be on our primary roads. And then if we can, we'll move to our secondary roads as soon as we can. It's just that we have 1,300 miles of road in Benton County, and that's quite a lot to cover with only 80 people in the fire department.
Those road crews are working to get to those rural roads as quickly as they can. But until then, be sure to stay home and stay safe. But for now, I'm live in Benton County covering news where you live. Rachel Williams, 5 News.
All right, Rachel, thanks. Part of Fort Smith and the River Valley could see up to 5 inches of snow by the time this storm ends later tonight. Lauren Spencer live in Fort Smith for us. And Lauren, it's just been a mixed bag out there pretty much all afternoon today.
That's right. The weather really can't make up its mind out here. I feel like each 10 minutes, it's like, okay, we're seeing snow. Okay, we're seeing some rain. Okay, we're seeing a weird mix of the two. That's kind of what I would call it right now. I wouldn't really call this snow, but also wouldn't call it rain. I guess that's sleet. But let's take a look down here at the ground. There is proof that it did snow a little bit here. We're along I-540 in Fort Smith. There's a little bit of precipitation on the ground, a little bit of snow ice mixture, but we're not seeing a ton here just yet. Fort Smith city officials did say that they did start pre-treating their roads on Sunday. Take a look at some video from earlier this afternoon. For pre-treating, they are focused on bridges, steep hills, and overpasses. They'll be doing 24-hour coverage with about 6 trucks out at a time. They'll use a sand salt mixture for additional traction. Josh Bufink with the city says they really had no issues from the last storm in January. He said they were safely able to plow all major roadways and residential areas.
Last I heard, we didn't have very many accidents reported in the last storm, and there were almost 0, maybe 1 injury-related report accident from that storm completely. So honestly, people are listening to our messages and staying home if they can.
Their county road crews were out this morning as well as midday pre-treating the roads, and they're going to have another crew out here on the roads, on the county roads, around 8 o'clock tonight. So if you do see these crews out, give them enough room to do their job, and we're going to keep you updated on what's happening here in the River Valley and maybe finally give you a clear answer to what the weather is doing, because it really can't make up its mind up here. We're going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Lauren, thanks. And again, don't forget to send us your snow day fun photos. Just text the pictures and video to the number there on your screen, 479-785-5000. We'll get those up on our website, maybe even get them on the newscast as well. And someone we want to also talk with, we've been visiting with Dave Parker with the Arkansas Department of Transportation all afternoon as crews work to get the roads clear as best they can during this winter blast.
Oh, and those crews have been working so hard and tirelessly. Dave, thank you for joining us. What are the biggest challenges right now, and how are the crews doing keeping up with all the snow that we're seeing up in Northwest Arkansas?
Biggest challenge so far has just been the amount of snowfall, but that's going to get trumped very soon by the bitter cold. Midnight, 1 in the morning, we're going to get some really cold temperatures. So I've been saying all week that we can handle the freezing rain, we can handle the snow, but when it gets down to the temperatures it's going to get, it's really tough. So that's our biggest. As far as adjusting, I think mentally we're prepared for this. We got a good bunch, and I think we're ready to go all the way through Friday, Saturday.
It's interesting that not a lot of folks are out, Dave, but those who do get out really need to give the crews a bunch of space.
Yeah, I just think about it. These guys are trying to operate a huge piece of equipment, with the plow attached to the front of it down a frozen highway where visibility is pretty much zero. You can't see the lines in the road. So they've got a tough enough job alone without any traffic out there. So for your own safety, just if you have to get out, please, whatever you think is a normal braking distance, back it off even more, double that if you can. It's for your safety and for our guys out there.
Well, Dave, we appreciate you joining us here at 5, and we will talk to you again soon. Stay warm.
Thank you.
Get a check of traffic across the area in Northwest Arkansas. Roads are in just bad shape. There's no other way to put it. We'll take a live look from our Slim Chickens camera here along 71B looking over towards College. It is just absolutely covered in snow. Here's a live look of 49 from our Mercy camera. Pretty similar situation. Folks are out there moving smoothly, just really, really slow as they should. In Fort Smith from the Mercy camera on Rogers, roads are wet. Temperatures hovering around freezing. Parts of Fort Smith, though, below freezing. You're going to start to see some ice spots out there. Snow continues to try to work its way into the area as this mix continues. We'll track when we expect it all to transition over into snow here coming up just a few minutes.